There are places in our world whose beauty is unmatched, whose allure is unprecedented, whose fascination is undeniable. Places whose importance to our planet can't be overstated. One such place lies at the southeastern tip of our United States, the Florida Keys, an environmental masterpiece. Home to delicate ecosystems, both uniquely stunning and remarkably accessible. A paradise that welcomes travelers from all over the globe to dive its coral reefs, fish its turquoise waters, and connect with its beautiful harmony between land and sea. Along with that desire to connect comes the need to protect. For this is a paradise that requires conservancy and care. This string of islands is home to North America's only coral barrier reef and depends on protection efforts from those who call the Florida Keys home.
All right,
come with us as we explore this amazing environment, meet the people and creatures who dwell here, and discover how visitors and locals alike are connecting with this unique environment. The Florida Keys truly are one of America's great natural wonders. I've spent the last 20 years of my life exploring this 125-mile-long chain of islands. So, Captain, how far does the refuge extend here?
It goes all the way beyond those islands out there, so it's as far as the eye can see here.
Wow. Like a strand of jewels, surrounded by the Florida Bay, the Atlantic Ocean, and the Gulf of Mexico. These islands sparkle with unique and alluring environments.
It's where the temperate meets the tropical, where the fresh water meets the salt water, and it's just full of incredibly diverse ecosystems like nowhere else on this planet.
At the top is Key Largo, home to America's first underwater park, to Isla Morada, known for its proximity to world-renowned fishing grounds. Next is Marathon, the heart of the Keys, where people are dedicating their lives to help animals in need. And then there's Big Pine Key in the Lower Keys, a true ecological treasure. And finally, to Key West, a city well-versed in the culture of connecting with and protecting this precious environment and laid-back lifestyle. This is where humans have the privilege of coming face-to-face with one of the most wild and biologically diverse environments in the Western Hemisphere.
This thing is 6.5 feet long, it weighs 150 pounds. What on earth am I gonna do with this thing now?
Coming up, coming up.
I think the Florida Keys really changes people.
You're tangling with one of the most awesome beasts that swims in the ocean.
These waters are recognized for being completely unique. There's nowhere else like this in our country.
And I remember the first time I came down here and I went snorkeling. A week later, I was on a bus and I'd moved down.
We want everyone to feel that the reef is theirs, and so it's their responsibility to also take an active part in restoring it.
If I can't spend at least 5 days a week on the water, I get withdrawal symptoms.
Perhaps no one understands conservation in the Keys quite like Bill Keogh. He's a naturalist, photographer, and environmental educator.
In 1947, they set aside 1.5 million acres of open waters and fresh waters and cypress domes and established the Everglades National Park.
The Florida Keys have such a diverse and productive ecosystem because of their proximity to the largest remaining subtropical wilderness in the United States, the Florida Everglades.
The Everglades National Park is critically important to the Florida Keys because it's where everything flows down. That fresh water, when it melds with the salt water, creates an estuary that has productivity that's beyond belief.
encompassing 1.5 million acres just north of the Florida Keys. The Everglades is one of the largest wetlands on Earth and just a short boat ride away for fishing guides based in the Upper Keys.
There we go. There we go. So exciting to see a fish and to cast to that fish and then see that fish eat your bait. Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
This is remote backcountry fishing, where you're surrounded by wild beauty. Everglades National Park was the first national park created to protect an entire ecosystem and is a great place to connect with the beauty and importance of this critical habitat.
What happens in the Everglades affects us here in the Florida Keys. So we are totally interconnected and intertwined. Protecting the Everglades helps protect the Florida Keys.
America's only coral barrier reef lies just off these shores, and the Everglades is essential to the health of this reef system. Some call these underwater biomes the rainforest of the ocean. They're some of the most diverse and productive ecosystems on the planet, full of life, color, and movement.
Imagine a coral reef like a big city. You've got your skyscrapers, you've got your smaller suburban homes. That is a reef. You've got these big giant corals that attract multiple species of everything, shrimp and fish and other things. You have the occasional big shark and grouper that swims by. But it all comes back to the coral. It's the structure and the habitat and the places for things to live.
Known as the Florida Reef, it's the third largest reef system in the world. It's home to over 6,000 species of fish, plants, and invertebrates. In 1990, a sanctuary was established to protect this reef system and other critical habitats.
The Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary is a protected area that surrounds the waters of the Keys, which means it's incredibly diverse. They're all interconnected, they're all important, and the sanctuary protects them all.
All right, guys, welcome to the Florida Keys. You guys all excited to go out and see Lou Key?
Yeah! Every year, millions of visitors come from all over the world to enjoy these natural resources. And the sanctuary has established programs designed to protect them.
The National Marine Sanctuary system works with operators, both fishing guides and snorkel and dive operators, who are interested in taking their businesses to the next level in terms of sustainability. And so we work together to develop a program that we call the Blue Star program. Blue Star dive operators make sure that when they take folks out to the reef, that those people know that they're not supposed to touch the reef, they're not supposed to kick the reef, they're not supposed to take anything. So by doing that, they make sure that those folks visiting these protected places do so in a way that helps protect them.
The sanctuary notably contains John Pennekamp Coral Reef State Park, the first underwater park in the United States.
Many people who think about the Florida Keys think about John Pennekamp Coral Reef State Park. It is a really fun place to visit, beautiful habitats. It's within the Florida Keys National Marine Sanctuary, so it's protected both by the state and by the National Marine Sanctuary.
But this reef isn't just a unique marine environment. It's a big part of the economic lifeblood of the Florida Keys as well. Protecting the world's coral reefs and maintaining their fragile infrastructure is a constant challenge. Climate change, pollution, ship groundings, and disease all continue to impact this environmental ocean habitat.
But you can just watch your team leader do one, and then it's not rocket science. It's pretty straightforward.
The Coral Restoration Foundation in Key Largo is determined to protect and replenish the Florida Keys reef system.
Let's do this.
Through the power of innovation and a dedicated army of volunteers, the foundation has pioneered the method of using offshore coral nurseries to grow and repopulate threatened coral reefs. This groundbreaking program has helped revitalize reefs throughout the Florida Keys.
Most people come on a dive trip and, chase a few fish, blow some bubbles, float around underwater on the reef. But when they're joining us on a dive program, they're learning about the reef, they're learning about the importance of corals, and then they get to spend 2 dives actually having a hands-on experience.
It's really encouraging to see some of the coral coming back, and the fact that actually you could participate And lend a hand, this gives you a chance to be part of the solution.
Everyone to feel that the reef is theirs, and so it's their responsibility to also take an active part in restoring it.
They are fragile, but they're also very resilient. So if we could work to kind of give them an extra push, a little bit of extra protection, be a little bit more ocean-minded, there's still a lot of hope for coral reefs.
8 years ago, Chad came to outplant coral with us.
So we just came from the site where they grow the coral, and now we're going to the restoration site where we're actually going to plant this coral on a reef. Pretty cool.
Today, he wants to know what it looks like. Now, we can't find his individual coral anymore, so what we've done is we have found corals that are 8 years old after being outplanting to show him what it could look like. Well, take a look at them.
Incredible. I can't believe how big this stuff is.
And all the fish living in it.
And to think about that little small 6-inch coral
Branches coming off.
that I planted. And this is just one person doing this, but you're doing this every day.
Yes, we have interns, we have 200 volunteers, we have thousands of dive program participants who come down for one day just like you did, and they've helped to restore thousands of square meters of reef. Coral Restoration Foundation just outplanted its 100,000th coral this past summer. And it's not just the number of corals we're putting out there, it's the number of people helping us.
Try to wrap your head around restoring a reef. That seems like a really big job.
It is a big job, but a single person can make a big change.
You know, part of protecting paradise is protecting the reef system that helped form the Florida Keys. And part of protecting that reef system is, well, keeping ships from running into them. Since these islands were first chartered by Ponce de Leon in the early 1500s, over 1,000 shipwrecks have been recorded off the coast of the Florida Keys. At one point, believe it or not, this was a good thing for the Florida Keys. Key West in particular, the coral reef that surrounds the island, was tough to navigate. Add in the hazards of wind and storm, and it's easy to see how conditions were ripe for scores of shipwrecks. While damaging to the reef, the resulting wreck salvaging business became so lucrative that it actually made Key West the nation's richest city per capita in the mid-1800s. Because where there's a shipwreck, there can potentially be treasure. As Mel Fisher found out when he turned a lifelong quest for a Spanish galleon wreck into a $450 million find. Today, ships are intentionally sunk, providing a different kind of treasure. They're called artificial reefs, large, decommissioned ships that are intentionally scuttled, sent to the watery depths below to create their own marine ecosystem.
Having artificial reefs spreads out some of the activities that take place in the sanctuary. So instead of going all to the natural reefs, some people are visiting the artificial reefs to fish, to dive, to enjoy these waters. So having those choices helps manage the level of activities within the sanctuary.
The USS Vandenberg was scuttled off Key West in the spring of 2009. Over 500 feet long, this retired U.S. Air Force ship once tracked Apollo space flights off Florida's coast. Now at rest in 150 feet of water, and is the second largest ship to be intentionally sunk as an artificial reef on the planet. What first strikes you as you descend onto the ship is not its sheer size. Though looming up out of the deep, it's truly massive. What strikes you is the unbelievable diversity of marine life that now call this sunken vessel home. The abundance of fish, coral, plants, and invertebrates is a welcome sight and proves the value of artificial reefs in bolstering the reef ecosystem.
It's amazing to see a ship that big down in the water just to kind of appear out of nowhere. Absolutely spectacular.
You're tangling with one of the most awesome beasts that swims in the ocean.
6 miles off Key Largo's coast is the USS Spiegel Grove. This artificial reef is over 500 feet long. It's an old Navy landing craft transport ship that was sunk in 2002.
We're going to drop down and kind of hide behind this section over in here.
Nice.
The cranes are just massive. When you see them, it's going to blow your mind. It's really crazy stuff. And since this was a military vessel, during some wartime periods, it's also got gun mounts on it as well. And if we have time, we may go through some of the swim-throughs.
It took the Florida Keys dive community over 8 years of hard work to get the Spiegel Grove permitted, cleaned up, and on the ocean floor. Like the Vandenberg, the sheer enormity of this wreck is staggering. And once again, I'm greeted by a host of marine life thriving in this semi-man-made environment.
Very soon after any structure is in the seafloor, in the ocean, things start to grow on it. Eventually you'll see a full system that's got sponges and soft corals and corals.
As we explore the massive cranes I'd heard about, there was so much coral growth on them, it was tough to make out what they might have looked like before the Spiegel Grove sank. Everywhere I looked, there were schools of fish darting in and out of the hatches and cargo doors. It's awe-inspiring to see such a massive structure on the ocean floor teeming with aquatic life. Both the Spiegel Grove and Vandenberg shipwrecks offer a wide variety of diving experiences, requiring different certifications.
Man, just an awesome, awesome structure. We saw all kinds of fish. I mean, big barracuda, saw all kinds of grouper and snapper. I mean, just
Angelfish,
all
prawns,
over the place.
barjacks.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell if you're a fish, like that's a pretty cool place to hang out.
The Spiegel Grove is a great example of local residents coming together to protect what they love. For centuries, the Florida Keys have been known worldwide as a premier fishing destination. This small string of islands has lured anglers from all over the world. Icons like author Zane Grey helped pioneer early sail fishing techniques. And baseball legend turned prolific angler Ted Williams made the Florida Keys his second home. Presidents like Harry S. Truman and George H.W. Bush would escape politics to fish in America's paradise. Between writing sessions, Ernest Hemingway would pursue his passion for deep-sea fishing. Back then, and still today, the Florida Keys fishing industry stands on the shoulders of the captains and fishing guides who take visitors out into the Florida Keys. They're salty, seasoned, and unapologetic when it comes to protecting this fishing paradise. And they're leading a conservation movement to protect their way of life.
There's nobody else, out here quite as much as we are. And so I think there's that deep, deep connection from knowing it that well, that you care a lot about it.
They've come a long way from the days when trophy fish were caught and hung up at the dock for photos.
They would pull 120-pound animals in and kill them. And what we watched is just simply, fewer and fewer fish. And it was really some of the flats guides that started to pioneer the catch and release.
Catch and release is one way anglers can play a vital role in conservation.
Angling for the fish, getting him to bite, enjoying the thrill and the sport of the fight. Bringing him up, taking a beautiful picture of the fish next to the boat so you have that memory, but then doing everything that you can to ensure that the fish is, released healthy, swims away, and so he can fight another day.
A true darling of the catch and release movement is without a doubt the tarpon.
Tarpon, the silver king. Now, they're just beautiful, amazing, badass fish. Think about it. 65 million years of evolution has perfected that animal. So you gotta think, that critter's doing something right.
On one Florida Keys morning, I was lucky enough to tag along with tarpon guide Bill Bassett to see if we could hook the famed Silver King.
Great day to be in the Keys, right?
Any day is a great day to be in the Keys.
Any day is a great day to be in the Keys.
Exactly.
waiting and knowing that any minute I could be attached to a 150-pound fish is pretty nerve-wracking.
As soon as you hook the fish, you realize, what did I just get myself involved in?
Oh my gosh, this fish is moving.
Coming up, coming up.
That's it, stay tight. Oh gosh.
Big fish, Cap.
I am absolutely in awe of the brute strength of this fish.
Woo! This fish is whipping me. He ran right back towards us.
Actually doing everything absolutely perfect.
You're tangling with one of the most awesome beasts that swims in the ocean.
After a 45-minute fight, we were finally able to get the fish boat side.
What I found after guiding for 20 years, people get the most thrill out of feeling the fish in their hand and then opening their hand and letting go.
Ecotourism is where you have a unique or fragile or distant backcountry area. Let things unfold in front of us. You know, you just kind of absorb the natural history and the animals' behaviors while you're just in the environment, relaxing and fully absorbing the energies of it.
You know, we hear that term ecotourism a lot. What does it actually mean? Well, here in the Florida Keys, I think it's more of a way of traveling than a reason to travel. A way to see the most, but impact the least. To ensure the places we travel remain intact for future generations. Well, that's exactly what the next generation of Florida Keys environmental stewards is promoting.
Stewards like Billy Littmer, owner of Honest Eco Tours, who have implemented sustainable tourism methods that allow visitors to connect with the Florida Keys environment. Billy's Honest Eco Tours operates the first all-electric, solar-powered tour boat in the Florida Keys.
I mean, at the end of the day, are you getting like a low battery warning or what?
Yeah, you get a low battery warning. It's like your cell phone.
As we cruise along, I can't help but notice that something's missing. There's no rumble of an engine, just the quiet sound of the twin catamaran hulls cutting through the turquoise waters.
What message are you trying to send with this boat?
I think that ecotourism needs to focus around conservation and focus on education, and I think that this boat is a way to lead by example.
This virtually silent vessel allows Billy to put guests up close to the wild dolphin population that live here in the refuge.
So we're in the middle of the Key West National Wildlife Refuge, and this is one of the oldest wildlife refuges in the country. It was set aside in 1908 by Teddy Roosevelt to protect the birds from feather hunters.
Beginning at the southernmost tip of the continental United States and stretching west towards the Dry Tortugas is nearly 200,000 square miles of protected wilderness, providing critical habitat to marine life and over 250 species of birds.
What's the plan today, Captain?
Yeah, we'll pull up, we'll drop anchor, we'll load into some kayaks, and we'll head towards the island. There's just no better way to teach than to show somebody the animal that you're talking about. So to be able to get there and get immersed into the mangroves, into the wildlife.
Joining us on the water is Billy's wife, Jennifer, and his two children, Anila and Darwin.
I think because of what's happening globally that we're realizing that we have something precious, and it does take action to keep it around for future generations.
You won't find palm trees or a nice sandy beach on these islands, just a dense maze of twisted mangrove roots and a long list of animals that live here.
So this is where life begins out here. A lot of the animals that maybe live on the coral reef when they grow up, they might be born out here where they have shelter from the larger predators.
Give me a sense of some of the wildlife that we're seeing here as we're paddling around here.
So lots of birds, and the reason for that is there's no source of fresh water in these islands. And so without fresh water, it limits the amount of predators that could be out here. And then also because it's the ocean with all the fish around it, the birds are able to get plenty of food. So it's a really good spot for them to raise their offsprings. A lot of our guests haven't been exposed to this sort of environment before. And so my hope is they go home and they just talk about the wildlife, and it affects their sphere of influence. People protect what they love. So if they're coming out here, they're picking up a jellyfish or getting to see a bird right by them in its natural habitat, hunting a fish, that's going to help them make decisions that are conservation minded.
Two fish on, 4 to 5 foot seas. We're all soaking wet, but this is fun.
More saltwater world record fish are caught in the waters surrounding the Florida Keys than anywhere else in the world.
The most amazing thing about the Florida Keys is we go from really deep water right next to the Gulf Stream in the Atlantic Ocean all the way up to the shallowest flats and into the Gulf of Mexico. So we catch just an enormous variety of fish.
With all that variety, there's one fish that stands out: the Atlantic sailfish. Sleek, strong, and fast. And for any sport fisherman, they're the ultimate in deep water adventure. Sailfish are prized for their stamina, their fighting spirit, and believe it or not, their sustainability as a unique and precious fishing resource in the waters surrounding the Florida Keys. I'm on board the Catch-22 with fishing guide Richard Stanczyk.
So we just got out here in the water. Step one is clearly bait. We got to have it.
First mate Hunter deploys a hoop net to catch them.
And he's using chum to try to bring the bait in. Once the bait gets over the hoop, he lifts the hoop up and catches the bait. Never seen bait caught like that.
This method puts minimum stress on the bait, keeping them in top condition.
Hey, Chad.
Yeah.
You see that black bird right there?
Yeah.
That's the bird that can find you the fish. What he's doing is he's hovering over the top of that bait school, hoping the sailfish will drive him up, so the poor bait ain't got a chance, because the sailfish is coming from the bottom, the bird is coming from the top.
The sailfish has eluded me my whole life, and today, I'm hoping to meet one face to face.
When we get a fish to the boat, Richard, what's going to happen?
You know, actually, Chad, today's world, you know, a caught fish is when you really grab a hold of the leader.
Okay.
And you know, with sailfish, we certainly, and that includes a lot of fish, we don't want to pick them up and bring them out of the water because it'll damage their internal organs and what have you. So we're going to hope that fish stays up next to the boat so we can get his picture, and then we're going to release him unharmed, just like we found him.
Well, and this is a real sustainable fish for the Keys. I mean, people come down here, spend money down here, catch these fish, and ultimately release them, right?
Yeah, I like that word, sustainable. What that means to me is, you know what, if we start this year, January 1st, with X number of fish, January 1st of next year, we got to have the same number. Yeah, sailfish, I think we got more because of, you know, of awareness and conservation and the different methods.
One of those conservation methods can be found all over the Florida Keys, hanging on the walls.
I think part of the conservation movement's mirrored in what we've seen with, you know, taxidermy and, you know, making replica mounts. Back in the day, they used to take the actual fish, the dead fish, and, you know, fill it and, you know, stuff it and then, you know, put lacquer over top of it. Now they can take the pictures that you took out on the water and they can create a beautiful replica mount out of fiberglass. What's really great is that we don't have to kill the fish anymore.
Back aboard the Catch-22, as the hours drag on and the tension builds, our target is proving to be elusive.
We need a break, Chad. We need a break. Here, fishy, 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 fishy.
Until suddenly,
Here they go! Here they go! Get a bait! Get a bait! Get a bait!
fish on. And not just one sailfish, we've hooked two.
I just was gaining line on him now. He saw the boat and he's gone again. Look at this.
I'm immediately just blown away at the power and strength of this fish. I just hope I have enough line.
Chad and I are soaking wet because we're forced to back into these 4 to 6 foot waves. The waves themselves, the spray just coming right over the top of us.
Gosh. Two fish on, 4 to 5 foot seas. We're all soaking wet, but this is fun.
Yeah, this is where angling skill really comes in, because if you put too much pressure, as you know, we got 25-pound test leader on there and a very small hook, it's all over. So we're really battling the elements here.
Is this what you were expecting?
No, it's more than I was expecting.
This is crazy.
This is a big pair of fish. The fish are staying down, staying down. We're into this thing for an hour already.
This battle had so many chances to go wrong. At one point, the fish had taken so much line, it was down to my last few yards.
This is when it's gonna get intense.
Give me the buoy, give me the buoy.
First mate Hunter was ready to hook my rod to a buoy to toss it overboard to save the fish.
Crazy!
I had never seen anything like this.
Oh, we're around a trap right now.
And 20 minutes later, I found myself tangled in the rope of a lobster trap.
Don't break them off, back off on them.
Miraculously, Hunter was somehow able to swing my rod under the buoy rope and free my line. And through all this, the fish was still on. Richard was able to bring his fish to the boat first.
Holy cow, I need oxygen.
And now it was my turn. But my fish is still not ready to give up.
There we go. Come on, fish, come on. He's coming up, he's coming up. He's coming up.
I've officially caught my first Atlantic sailfish.
Reel down fast, all the way down, all the way down. That's a big fish, Chad. That's as big full grown as they get. This is a tough sailfish for your first. Look at him still trying to tail walk, Chad. Isn't that beautiful?
I'm spent. I'm exhilarated.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about.
But mostly, I'm in awe of this beautiful sailfish. That's just given me one of the most thrilling angling experiences I've ever had.
Our first Atlantic sailfish. About to release him. Sir, thank you so much. What an incredible fight. Woo! That beautiful sail. And let him go to fight another day.
On this trip, we would experience the full weight of just how healthy this fishery is.
Well, so far we've looked at the many ways locals and visitors are partnering to protect the Florida Keys on the water. Well, there's plenty of places to do that on land as well.
One of the greatest success stories in conservation occurred here with a particular species called the key deer. In 1957, they established the Key Deer National Wildlife Refuge.
Key deer are the smallest species of North American deer and are found nowhere else but the Florida Keys. Their fragile ecosystem is protected by the National Key Deer Refuge, which has helped the population rebound from its once critically low numbers. Another place you can connect to the environment is the Florida Keys Wild Bird Center and Sanctuary. Team Wildbird, as they call themselves, rescues, rehabilitates, and releases almost 1,000 birds a year. They offer opportunities to volunteer, donate, intern, and even adopt a bird.
There's a world-renowned rehabilitation facility where people are making a difference, lending some much-needed help to some of the oldest animals on the planet.
Well, this is a real dinosaur. This dinosaur has been around 200 million years, and they're still here.
Richie Moretti runs a hospital, a turtle hospital in Marathon in the Florida Keys.
Wow.
Yes, you are. I will bring you some more squid.
Over the last 3 decades, Richie and his staff have helped over 3,000 sick and injured sea turtles.
Two of the things that we do is education, making people love them as much as we do, and doing research.
They have such personality in their face.
Yep.
I mean, it is just incredible. Guests can take a guided tour to see rescued sea turtles and get a behind-the-scenes look at the hospital's rehabilitation facility, where Richie's staff care for sick and injured sea turtles.
We treat these guys just like they are, that each one of them is really important, whether your grandchildren may ever get to see a turtle or not. So we love it and we fund it through education.
I got an exclusive behind-the-scenes look to see firsthand what goes into rehabilitating a sea turtle.
Daly is a juvenile green that just had an x-ray, and we're gonna take her over for a laser treatment. Wow. You got time to help out?
I do.
All right.
This turtle has a virus that is affecting the global population of these animals. And as the world's first turtle hospital, Richie's staff is leading the way in attempts to eradicate the virus.
One of the main things we treat at the Turtle Hospital is fibropapillomatosis, or FP for short, and it's a debilitating disease that affects primarily the green sea turtle with these horrific tumors on the soft tissue.
Does Daly enjoy this? Do you get a sense that he knows what's going on here?
I think that it doesn't feel bad. Let me just say that. And I think that animals are pretty smart, and when we do something that makes them feel better, they start to relate that treatment with feeling better, and it absolutely, they'll stay calm for it.
So eventually Daly will make it back out into the ocean. How long do you think it'll take?
Well, Daly has probably 1 or 2 more surgeries in front of him. Then we'll keep him for 6 to 12 months and make sure those tumors don't regrow. We'll get him fat and happy, and then we'll return him to his ocean home.
Well, Daly is a lucky turtle to be found by you guys and take such good care of the turtles here.
Such good care, in fact, that their goal is to release all rehabilitated turtles back into the ocean, providing a great educational platform for the general public who get to come out and watch. Today, we get a front row seat as we get to ride along with Betty Zirkelback in the Turtle Ambulance.
Being able to return them to their ocean home and have that educational opportunity for the community, visitors to the Florida Keys, it's a great time to teach them, educate them about sea turtles, how they can help, and who doesn't love a turtle release, right? I have a surprise for you. I don't have 2, but I have 3 turtles today. Woo! Going back to sea, so how awesome is that? We are traveling in the Turtle Hospital ambulance, which, how cool is that, right? And it's one of 3 ambulances that we have that rescues turtles all throughout the Keys. We cover over 200 miles of coastline.
Today, Betty and her team are in the Turtle Hospital ambulance, transporting 3 juvenile green sea turtles that have fully recovered and are ready to be released back into the wild.
I have taken this ambulance and had people stop me and say, do you really, take turtles in that ambulance? And it is a little hokey, but yes, it serves a really great purpose. And wow, it looks like we have quite the crowd, Chad.
I mean, this is an event. I mean, part of this is to showcase what the Turtle Hospital does. And so, Betty and her team want people to see what this is all about. And this is part of that education. It's
incredible educational opportunity here at the beach.
Whenever we do these turtle releases, there are lots of people who love to come down because this is the first time they've seen anything like this. It's exciting for the little kids, it's exciting for the people, and it helps us support the Turtle Hospital.
Straight back, you're doing great.
I want to thank everybody for being out here. We have an absolutely gorgeous day. I have a surprise for you. I don't have 2, but I have 3 turtles today. Going back to sea, so how awesome is that? We could not do what we do without you, and I really sincerely mean that. You guys are our eyes on the water, you're our support, and again, thank you for being here. I live in the Florida Keys because it's a sustainable environment. From our commercial fishermen to our sports fishermen to the visitors to the Keys, we recognize the importance of not just our marine animals, but our coral reef systems. It's a big deal in the Florida Keys, and that's why I'm here. How awesome is this? 1, 2, 3, lift. Right to the water's edge. There you go. And they're all gonna go together, I think. Woo! All right.
We did it.
I hope we've inspired you to join local stewards in building cultural awareness and environmental respect into your time in the Florida Keys.
My kids and the kids in the Florida Keys, they give me hope. They give me hope for our planet, for our oceans. Taking the time to share nature with them is critical to the health of our oceans and our planet.
I just want to leave something a little bit better than I found it.
Whether you're exploring the majesty of their underwater landscapes and perhaps doing your part to ensure the future of those landscapes. Whether you're reeling in a trophy game fish, then releasing it to fight another day. Or whether you're marveling at the incredibly diverse wildlife, all the while strengthening your resolve to help conserve their habitat and their way of life.
They call these string of islands jewels, and they should be treated as precious as that.
This is a paradise to me because I get to give back every single day, and I get to inspire people to be able to do the same thing. And that, to see people and help them make a difference, what more can I ask for?
Once you come down here and experience and see this amazing environment, you are definitely going to want to protect it.
I want to leave the world better than, than it is now. And so for me, this is a place that is precious.
I think that if people get encounters with the wildlife, that they're going to have an appreciation and they're going to take that home with them and they're going to become conservationists.
This is a sweet spot in time. The awareness is there, and now we need the action to go with that awareness. Having a positive force on the environment where you live and where you travel is critical to the survival of our oceans, the marine life in it, and our world.
So when you visit, I hope you have a chance to connect with the Florida Keys. Your time spent here will be filled with memories that will last a lifetime. And your efforts to help conserve this beautiful place will help keep the Florida Keys flourishing for generations to come. Do that, and you'll join locals and others who are passionate about protecting paradise.